Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar, Stayntouch Product Enhancements, version 5.51, totals added to budgets modules, departure and in-house guest reports exportable in CSV, and more, presented by Stayntouch Implementation Consultant, Natasha Leck. I'm your host, Erin Fisher, the content writer here at Stayntouch. Today's presentation will cover how you can get the most out of the Stayntouch PMS version 5.51 product release. In this webinar, we will highlight the VAT per line item setting for AR transactions, explain that add-ons linked to rates include in price or add to price cannot be marked as reservation only, demonstrate that the departure report and in-house guest reports are now exportable via CSV, show that totals have been added to the budgets module, and illustrate that the taxes label on the confirmation letter has been changed to taxes and fees. We'll have a short Q&A session at the end of the presentation. Feel free to submit questions throughout the presentation, and we will answer them in the order they are received at the end. And that's all I have right now. Natasha, I'm going to hand the presentation over to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that introduction, Erin.
Thank you.
All right, so I assume you can see my screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. So the first item of the webinar today will be the text per line item for AR transactions. So if we move into our menu, we'll go to our settings and settings again. Into financials and our financial settings. And here we'll be able to toggle on the text per line item. If I toggle this on and save, I will show you now in our menu, financials and accounts receivable. Open the company that I have with an open bill. And if I now try to print this invoice, you'll be able to see that the headers have changed here. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. So you'll be able to see here that using this toggle will make the following headers appear, such as date of charge, quantity, charge description, etc. We do have to note though that with this function, it is not you're not able to activate this together with multi-currency functionality. Now, the second item of the release notes are the add-ons linked to rates cannot be marked as reservation only. So if I move into my settings, rates, and then rates again, I will find a rate with an add-on attached to it, such as my champagne package rate. If I move into my rate and I scroll down under add-ons, you'll see here the add-on that is attached to this is champagne bottle. It is now here in use. So if I move into rates and add-ons and I find my champagne bottle add-on, you can see if I scroll down that it is currently a rate-only add-on. If I now click on reservation only and save changes, an error will pop up saying cannot switch to reservation only. This add-on is used in a rate as inclusive or exclusive. So now I will change this back and then cancel. If I go into my rate and go into that champagne package rate again, I will turn the toggle for the add-on off. Turn this off and save. If I now go back to my add-on, champagne bottle, I can make this a reservation only add-on. Now this will save. So that is now something that we've done for the add-ons. Now what I'd like to mention here as well is that we've added text next to manual posting only to explain the intended behavior of this functionality. So you can see here that it now says does not post during end of day. This is not something that we have changed. This is for information only. Then the next item from the release notes is the departure report is now exportable via CSV. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We'll move into our menu, reports, and this can be done for new reports and also for a scheduled report. So I'll show you for a new report first. We'll find our departure to report. And if I say run report now, I can go into my report inbox. You can see this is now in progress, but let me just refresh. You can see that this is now printable in CSV, or exportable in CSV, my apologies. And if I download that, you can see here that it gets downloaded as CSV. Now let me show you this as well for scheduling. Now if we move into schedule report / export and press new report schedule here on the right-hand side, search for our departure report again. You can see here that under file format, you also have the option to select CSV, and you're able to include the CSV header and then continue with your schedule as you would normally do. This is now also the case for the in-house guest report. So if I move into my new report and search for my in-house guests and run this report, if I go to my report inbox, same thing, you'll see this is first in progress, but let me refresh. This is now exportable in CSV. You can see here that it gets downloaded this way. And this would be the same thing for scheduling a report. So we'll go into new report schedule again, search for our in-house report. And you'll see here again under file format that this is now also exportable in CSV, and you're able to include the CSV header. Then the last item for this release that we have added totals by charge code, market code, month, year, and day to budgets. So moving into the menu, financials, budgets. Here you're able to see that there is now totals here at the bottom and here on the side for markets. And if I change this to charge codes, you'll be able to see the totals as well. Give it a moment. You'll see the totals here on the bottom and here for the year. And this is also, as I said, shown for the month. So if let me go into a different one. Let me go into June. You're able to see here at the bottom that we have the totals. And if I click here at the top and drag, you'll be able to see here the totals as well. Right here. And this is again for both budget and for both charge code and for market. Now those were all the items that I had on my list.
Thanks, Natasha, for that insightful presentation. I'd now like to turn over the floor for questions. Remember, you can submit questions through the question box in the middle of the control panel. I'll give everyone a few seconds to enter those. All right, since there are no questions, I'd like to take to the floor to offer some final thoughts. In this webinar, we highlighted the VAT per line item setting for AR transactions, explained that add-ons linked to rates, include in price or add to price, cannot be marked as reservation only, demonstrated that the departure report and in-house guest reports are now exportable via CSV, showed that totals have been added to the budgets module, and illustrated that the taxes label on the confirmation letter has been changed to taxes and fees. With that, I'd like to conclude our presentation. Thank you all for coming, and if you have any additional questions, feel free to email me at erin.fisher@stayntouch.com. Thanks again.